Greetings everyone. We are here to present on the topic transaction state. Our team will be explaining how transactions work in a database system and the different states they go through during execution. I am Neil Mukherjee and I'll be covering the first part from the introduction to the basic states of transaction. My teammate will continue with the remaining slides explaining each state in detail. A transaction is a sequence of one or more SQL operations treated as a single logical unit of work, ensures data integrity and consistency in a database, follows the ACID properties atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. So, what is a transition state? It represents the current stage of a transition during the execution. It helps the DBMS track and manage the progress of a transaction.
There are five main states in transactions lifecycle: active, partially committed, committed, failed, and aborted. Each of these represents a specific stage from when a transaction starts to when it completes successfully or fails. In the active state, the transaction is currently being executed. All read and write operations are being performed in this phase. If everything works correctly, it moves forward. But if any issues occur, like a power outage or constraint error, the transaction moves to the failed state. Once all statements are executed, the transaction enters the partially committed state. Here, all the results are temporarily saved, and the system checks for any remaining constraints or issues. If all checks pass, it proceeds to the committed state, otherwise, it moves to failed. In the committed state, the transaction has successfully completed. All changes made by the transaction are now permanently saved in the database. This ensures the durability property, meaning that even if the system crashes, the data remains safe. When an error occurs, the transaction enters the failed state. At this point, it cannot continue further. The systems then perform a rollback, undoing all changes made during the transaction. This brings the database back to its previous consistent state, also known as aborted state. Include transaction states play a key role in ensuring data consistency, reliability, and recovery in database systems. By managing each phase carefully, DBMS ensures that the database remains accurate even during failures. So, a well handled transaction truly defines the stability of database. Thank you.